So let's try again. So I'll do a share and we'll get on to the doctor's ones. Okay. So as before, I'm going to save the changes and post them in easy class. Okay, right, now we've got some case notes here. Okay, we've seen this one before on several occasions. Ms Loris Hoffman, we've seen this before. Referral. Okay, we need to write a referral to a psychiatrist. The diagnosis: reactive depression and anxiety. Patient has agreed to referral, and then there's the history leading up to this. Okay, she fainted once, but so what? You know, that was in 2013. So no symptoms, appetite, skin check, moles. No, don't need that. Okay, hematology, how much other stuff here? Right now. Job stress, depression, nightmares, insomnia, loss of appetite. Yeah. That's the important part. Reactive depression and anxiety. Most of this stuff we don't actually need. Almost all of it, in fact, don't need it. So let's have a look and see what you have done. Ibrahim, Dr. Ibrahim, don't know if he's here or not. So let me put the changes on. Ms Hoffman is being referred to you today after experiencing features suggestive of reactive depression and anxiety. Your further assessment, right. Why do I keep seeing this sentence in every letter? Why do I keep seeing this? Every single letter. Can somebody explain? Why is it in every letter? Don't use memorized phrases or sentences. That's for sure fire way to get a C+. Don't use it. It's an English test. If they think you are using memorized phrases and sentences and they've seen this one 1,000 times, what do you think they will think? So try to avoid it. But apart from that, sentence one's good. Sentence one's is pretty good. Ms. Hoffman's being referred to you today after experiencing features, blah, 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 blah. Or I'm writing to request your assessment and management of Ms. Hoffman, who has features suggestive of, you know. So you could make this into a single sentence if you wished. Yeah. It's okay to have it in two, but you could make it one. Just change things round a bit, and we don't really need this sentence that everybody uses if you can avoid it. Okay. Now, do we really need this right here? She's a sales assistant. She lives alone. She's split from a boyfriend. No family. Now, some of this might be interesting later on when you are outlining possibly why she's anxious and suffering from a depression. You know, she's alone, she's split from a boyfriend, no family, no support net like work. She smokes, and does that really matter? Is that the most important? You know, it's like, right, what do all the classes, what do they tell you, right? What do they say? Important things first. Put the important stuff first, right? I'm writing to request this. I want you to do this. Okay, right, good. Then what's the important stuff? It's either the main medical issue or it's the pertinent social or medical history that sets the scene for the rest of the story. Okay, so I don't really know if we need all this. She's a sales assistant. Who cares? Okay, well, anyway, we'll continue. So, in terms of Ms. Hoffman's past clinical history, she initially presented for a checkup. Don't forget your articles. After having fainted and vomited at the previous night, at the previous night at the pub. Her examination was free Free of what? Was free, or was free of, or was unremarkable, was free of what? Apart from being pale and hypothermic. Therefore, she was advised on resting. You mean she was advised to rest? 2 plus infinitive, not advised on resting. That doesn't make sense for one day. On the previous visit, which, so on what? So what? On the previous? So you would, why are we using this? On the previous visit. Well, previous to what? It's not previous to this, because that is in the first one. So how is it previous? Okay, so that is a nonsense. Doesn't make sense. Get rid of that. She presented feeling depressed, in addition to having nightmares, insomnia, loss of appetite, and low libido. She complained probably was a pleasure on cotton trains as well as alcohol. She reported a recent separation from boyfriend. At that point, my provisional accident's diagnosis was reactive depression and anxiety. I recommended a referral to a psychiatrist. So I was reluctant to do that. No, okay, now, apart from that paragraph's good, right? So all that stuff that's in the case, the notes, all this stuff, you don't, and you know, if you were to include all this stuff, it would be pointless. It would be a complete waste of time. Get to the heart of it, and that is it. So that's quite good. That's quite good. So that paragraph, not so sure if you could maybe put that, maybe, you know, here, put it down in the letter, but that paragraph's good. But Ms. Hoffman to my clinic, and she has not been compliant. Now, okay, again, I've mentioned this before. You've probably read it or seen it before. We don't use this now, or we've advised not to use it. Comply, obey, you know, it implies a certain doctor-patient relationship, which we don't really have these days. So what do we use? Anybody tell me what is recommended that we currently use? Anybody? You can type your answer. Instead of comply, compliant, what should we use? Adherence. Excellent, Mary. Adherence. So she's not been adherent to. Very good. So since the last visit, nevertheless, she agreed to refer to a psychiatrist. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad. So as you see, I didn't make a lot of changes there. You could have put that there, but I would have dropped it down, you know. But in general, that's quite strong. Quite strong. It's got all the things that we need. It doesn't have anything that we don't actually need. So yeah, Dr. Ibrahim. I don't know if he's here or not, but that's not bad. Not bad at all, Doc. Not bad. Okay, let's have a look. Dr. Sana. I don't know, Sana or Sana. I don't know. Is she here? He, she. Is it? Are they here or not? Maybe not. Okay. Let's have a look. Thank you for assessing Ms. Hoffman, whose clinical features are. Your further assessment management will be highly appreciated. Your assessment and management of her condition will be greatly appreciated. Right, why would it be greatly and highly appreciated? Appreciated by whom? Appreciated by you? Appreciated by her? You don't need these expressions. They're not doing you a personal favor. There's no need for all these adverbs, greatly, highly. Why not simply appreciated? Why must it be highly, greatly? Do you think that somehow it makes a difference? He's not, you know, he's not lending you money. He's not doing you, well, he, she, we're not doing you a personal favor. Don't need it. So, okay, so let's have a look. Miss Hoffman is a single lady, which is a sales assistant. She lives alone after a recent breakup with a boyfriend, or if she is single, so you kind of said that kind of twice. She's a smoker, an alcohol drinker, please don't to penicillin. Okay, well, again, do we really need, is this the most important thing? Unless you kind of frame a depression like, you know, this has happened and this has happened and these events have contributed to the current situation, as it were. Ms Hoffman has been visiting on, right, so anybody tell me what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this phrase? Yeah. I mean, one point there is too many short and simple sentences. She lives alone, she's a smoker, please note. You could have made those more complex. Instead of sentence, 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 you could have put that into one, maybe two. So I was saying, what's wrong with this? Present perfect continuous. Why wouldn't we use it? Present simple. Present simple. Mustafa. Present simple. Present perfect. Dearie me, docs. Present perfect has visited. On multiple occasions. Has visited. Present perfect, not present perfect continuous. Right. What do we use present perfect continuous for? What do we use it for? Anybody? Present. So why is present perfect better than present perfect continuous? If you look at the rest of the sentence, you'll see there's a clue. Why is present perfect continuous not good, but present perfect is? Anybody? Multiple occasions, though. If we use present perfect continuous, we need either for or yes, not ongoing. Excellent. So if it was present perfect continuous, we use it to emphasize the period of time that we've spent on an action, right? Usually with the adverbs for and since, right? So she has been visiting my clinic for several years now. She's been visiting my clinic since 2014 or something such as that, right? So we've used for or since, but we've got multiple occasions. So present perfect is better, not present perfect continuous. Has visited my clinic on multiple occasions. As we requested a medical certificate many times for bed rest. Initial visit was due to unconsciousness. Binge drinking, hang on. I thought it said she had 2 glasses of wine, well, 2 glasses of wine, several cocktails. Well, that wouldn't make me fall unconscious, but then again, I'm not her. Okay, so binge drinking, she reported a social work team with compromised appetite. Compromised. Now that's a good verb. I don't know if I would use it in this sense because it's a bit ambiguous. Compromised, you mean reduced or lessened? You could, you know, there's some excellent verbs that you could use here that would show your vocabulary, you know, and they would be more accurate. I would probably say lessened appetite, or you could say reduced, but lessened is a good verb, I think. Lessened, reduced, instead of compromised appetite. Do we need this paragraph? What do you think? Is this pertinent? It's, oh, she thought she had this, however, she didn't. So do we need this? No, not relevant as such. Presented with official HSV, I would spell it out instead of just putting the abbreviation. Depressed, tremendous stress at work, insomnia, again, you've got some short sentences. You could combine these, but this paragraph's good because this is like helping to set the scene. So again, you know, anxiety, his anxiety, his anxiety, his anxiety. Very good. Don't make these very simple mistakes. So, low self-esteem, I prescribed her temazepam and counselled her regarding psychiatric help on today's visit. She got to take temazepam. And a temazepam, is that a brand name? Is it a brand name? Yes? It's not a generic drug. Is it a brand name? Yes. So this should be capitalized. She's agreed to get psychiatric advice. Right. You don't get advice. You usually take advice. In terms of verb collocation, so you usually get help or take advice. You know, so you could get advice, but a more accurate collocation would be to get help or take advice. In view of the above, a presumptive diagnosis of depression and anxiety, and requires, and what, who, we need a subject, well, you know, and she requires psychiatric evaluation. Okay. So not bad, not bad. I just work on, you know, what to include, what to exclude, etc. But still, not too bad, not too bad. The grammar is good apart from that one instance there, using the continuous instead of present perfect, and that would be fine. So let's see, what else have we got here? Dr. Adam, are they here? No, yes? Okay, let's have a look. Thank you for seeing this 28-year-old sales assistant. Well, what's her name? You know, why? Thank you for seeing this 20-year-old sales assistant. Oh, she's a sales assistant. That tells me everything I need to know. For the presumptive diagnosis, what? Oh dear. For the presumptive, right? Who has the presumptive diagnosis, or who I have presumptively diagnosed. Okay, so why I wouldn't put this there? I put a name. Thank you for seeing Ms Hoffman. Suppose I'll type it in for you. Well, no, a presumptive diagnosis, and we don't really need the age in any case because we can work it out from the DOB. So, you know, we can do, I would imagine that most doctors can actually count, you know, because that's quite important. So we don't really need it. If it's 86, we can, you know, work out an age. Tautology, or repetition of the same information. So, okay, so I would change that round. So, I get this like introduction, it's kind of, right, thank you for seeing Ms Hoffman, who has a presumptive diagnosis for further evaluation. And so I will thank you for seeing Ms Hoffman for further evaluation and psychiatric assistance who has a diagnosis of. So I would change that round a bit. So the patient presented, again, you can put the patient, but why can't you use a name? Use her name at first, well, you know, their name at first, and then pronouns afterwards. Ms Hoffman no. I'll take that later. Okay. Ms Hoffman presented for symptoms for these symptoms of. Now, okay, Why wouldn't I use this definite article? I wouldn't use it. Why wouldn't I use it? Why would I not use this definite article? What do you use when you introduce something for the first time? Indefinite article, or zero and make it a plural. Symptoms in general, because we've not specified the symptoms as yet. Yeah, presented with, presented for. Yeah, it's the first time. So presented for, presented with. Symptoms or presented with symptoms of depression, including lack of appetite and sleep with nightmares. Well, on nightmares, not, you know, obviously you have to be asleep to have a nightmare, I think. So you have to be asleep, so we don't, you know, no, she had nightmares when she was asleep. Really? Not when she was awake. So, appetite and nightmares. According to her, well, according to who else? So, right, it's never according to her, you know, Ms Hoffman, the patient reported. Yeah, that's good. According to her, or Ms Hoffman reported, the patient reported she has other stress, etc. She reported that she has lots of stress in her job, affected constantly memory comments. Furthermore, she had lost interest in sexual life because she had a breakup with a boyfriend, or she broke up with. I mean, you can have a breakup, but I would just simply make it simple past, because, you know, breakup is a phrasal verb, so you can use it break up, broke up, broken up. They, you know, so it can be simple past and present. Perfect. Because she recently broke up with her boyfriend. Excellent. In addition, she was socially isolated. Now that's very good, very good. And considering whether to quit her job. A psychiatry referral, right, was advice, right. What's wrong here? What's wrong here? I'm not going to tell you everything. I want you to spot some things. What's wrong with a highlighted word? Well, think noun verb. Advised, yes, yes. Advice is a noun, advise is a verb. Very good, well spotted. Was advised. Oh, shite. Hang on. Was advised. Right, very good. Why is it passive? Why a psychiatry referral was advised, which was refused by. Why not say which she refused? You don't have to make everything in passive, which was refused by her. She refused. We know who performed it. You don't have to make it passive. Temazepam 30 milligrams was advised. What? Advised? Well, it wasn't, was it? It was prescribed, not advice, advised. Temazepam, and that looks like a note form beginning with a noun, a brand, a name. So it's something like, therefore, temazepam 50 milligrams was prescribed, because you give a prescription, you know, and a review after a week was scheduled. Yeah, therefore. On review today, the patient showed no improvement, as well as did not take medication. Oh, right. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this? Any ideas? What's wrong with this? Somebody. As well as did not take medication. Right. Word order, it's not phrased very well. The patient showed no improvement, as well as did not take medication. So how do we know this? Did she say so? Did she report it? She's not filled a script. So what's it say? So recommended, she comes in, she's not filled her script. So how do we know that that's the case? Where are we? Okay. On review today, again, the patient username, Ms Hoffman, showed no improvement, as apparently, was not adherent. The patient showed no improvement, as well as not being adherent to her medication. She doesn't want to continue. Improvement was not being adherent to a medication. What can we do here? Medication. Additionally, she does not want to continue but agreed to consult a psychiatrist. Okay, so don't think, what's this? Somebody says in reported speech, the verbiage should be passed. Reported speech, the reporting verbs say or tell go into the past. She said that, she told me that, and the other verbs go farther back into the past. So direct speech, I haven't taken a medication. She said that she had not taken, So have, had, So direct, I haven't been taking my medication. She told me that. She said that she had not been taking her medication. Okay, so that's reported speech. The verb goes into the past. Okay, we'll continue. So you could use, if you did want to report speech, you could say, additionally, she said that she didn't want to. So this is right. Because it's happening on the same day, right? Depending on when exactly, you could use the present simple, because the day hasn't finished yet. So it's in the past, kind of, but it's, it's the day hasn't finished yet. So it's current, and she doesn't want to continue now. So you could use the present simple. If you want to say you had a discussion and she specifically said that, so you could say, additionally, she told me that she didn't. So, do, does, didn't, did. She didn't want to blah, 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 blah. Okay? So if you wanted to do reported speech, you could do it like that. I say all the verbs would go into the past. What is this? So she reported that she, right. So I have a lot of stress. She reported, she said, she told me that she had a lot of stress. So I have stress. She said that she had, So verbs go into the past, right? If you've above, consider patient. Okay, that's not too bad. not too bad. So there's a few things I maybe change, some vocab, repetition, tautology. We don't need the age when we've got the DOB. Use her name, you know, use reported speech here. She reported that she had a lot of stress in her job. And now, another thing, it depends how far back, because I was just having a look at that, right, has. It depends how far back the reported speech goes down. If you look at the grammar books, I use Macmillan English Grammar in context, and if anybody requires it, I'll send you it, or I'll post it in the group. If you look at the uses of reported speech, if it's very recent, you can use present simple. If it's very, you know, if like 5 minutes ago she said it, then you don't have to put it into the past. It depends on the amount of time, yeah? So if she's just come in now and left, oh, she reported that she has, because present simple, it's current, ongoing. But if it was farther back, you know, earlier in the day, say several hours ago, she reported that she had a lot of stress. So it depends on how far back the reporting is. Anyway, so there's a few things there you have to have a look at. One more letter. I might call it quits after this. I've got other things to do. Dr. Montada, don't know how you say that. If he's here. 33-year-old. I don't know how you work out that. Okay, and apart from that, we don't need it. 33-year-old sales assistant, that tells me what? Okay. Was features consistent with, look, everybody. It's my favorite sentence. It's my favorite sentence again. Why would it be high? Can anybody tell me? Why would it be highly appreciated? I'm curious. Can anybody tell me? Why do I keep seeing this sentence again and again? Can anybody tell me why? Memorize sentences. Don't do it. Every exam will tell you the same. Don't memorize sentences. Okay, but apart from that, so Ms Hoffman, who has features consistent with reactive depression, anxiety for your management and assessment, etc. Please note she single has no family in Australia. Okay, well, that could be pertinent, you know, because she's one reason why she's, well, polite, yes, but why highly? Just simply, I would appreciate it. You know, there's no need for all these memorized sentences and phrases. I just wouldn't use them. So she is single, has no family in Australia. You could leave that there because that would, you know, that just kind of set the scene. She's all alone. She's not, you know, she doesn't have any support, no boyfriend or a family. So that might have some, you know, the psychiatrist might think, oh, yeah, that is pertinent because it tells me about a state of mind. Maybe I would move it a bit farther down there. Initially, Miss Hoffman suffered from fainting. Was like, now, right, people keep including this, but she was in the pub and she got pissed. Okay, it was a couple of years ago. Does that have anything to do with her depression and anxiety? So sometime before, she was out having a drink and she fell over. It happens to people every Friday, Saturday night in England. But what does that have to do with anything else? Now, everything that you include has to be part of a narrative, of telling a story. You know, so you have to consider how all these facts interrelate. How is this What does this got to do with this? How is this informing me about this, etc.? You know, so don't just include things just for the sake of it without showing a connection. This leads to this, leads to this, leads to this. If there's no interconnection, it's just a random sequence of sentences. It's just a random series of information. You must draw things in and show the correlation between this and this and this. That's what all good, well, grade A letters do. They show this. This leads to this because of this, because of that. Okay. At the pub, due to classic writing, history was remarkable. No previous fits shared. Busy work. Busy work. Well, you don't use an article in front of work. Work is uncountable. I'm seeing stress, hence she requested a checkup. Article. No significant findings, because you had test and examination, that's 2. Okay, a couple of sentences you could have, well, okay, that's not so bad. Following visits, several attacks of viral infection, okay, do we need that? If you have to include it, do it like this, just a sentence. There's no point in explaining it because it's pointless. She came complaining it was work stress, made her depressed, insomnia. Well, right, insomnia is a noun, it's not a verb. I'm insomniaed, which made her depressed, suffering from insomnia, or I don't know, you'd have to change the verb beforehand. She came complaining of work stress, which caused insomnia. In the middle, they'll do depressed, so we'll have to put a different verb. Caused insomnia and nightmares, anorexia, and low libido. Okay. Furthermore, her memory and concentration were poor and lost. Were poor and lost, feeling a pressure. Don't really know how to rephrase that. I'm not really sure what that means. Her memory and concentration were poor. So I would put those in to the previous sentence. It's a list of symptoms. Why is it in a separate sentence? Subsequently, her relation with boyfriend split up. Okay. Well, her relationship doesn't split up. It might finish, but she split up. So her relationship with her boyfriend finished. Okay, finished. And she wanted to omit to leave her job. You mean she wanted to quit or to leave? And she wanted to leave her job. She was advised to be referred to a psychiatrist, however she refused. So temazepam was prescribed for the refusal. Now look at how this sentence, or well, this subordinate clause is worded. According to this, temazepam was prescribed for the refusal, and that's obviously not true, is it? That's not the case. So, for which implies cause and effect. So, however, she refused, and instead, temazepam, and it's a brand name, so we need a capital, was prescribed and to be reviewed. What, the temazepam was to be reviewed in a week? She was to be. Okay. She was about to say she refused, and instead was prescribed, and it was arranged for her to be reviewed in a week. So you've got to watch your phrasing and syntax. If you're not careful, you're going to be referring to the wrong things, the subject instead of the object. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so be careful there. On today's visit, Ms. Hoffman, right, why is it luckily? Oh, it was lucky. Oh, or why she wouldn't have. Is it lucky that she agreed? Don't think we need that adverb there. Does it make sense? I agree to be referred to a psychiatrist, please not taking multiple doses, a therapy, so you can put that into a single sentence. Yeah, she was not concerned. So that needs, so you've got three, I would put that into one sentence or two. And what's missing? What is missing now? What's is missing? Somebody tell me what is missing. I can sit here all day. Well, not all day. What is missing after this? Somebody. Any queries? The conclusion? What is, you know, like if you look at the previous ones, in view of the above, it would be appreciated. Can you take this patient? Requesting, yeah. Conclusion. We need a conclusion. Conclusion. What is it you want me to do? And the closing, any queries, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that wouldn't really work. That wouldn't, you'd be lucky to get a C with this one. C plus, or I don't know, not without having that conclusion and closing. Okay, that's all I've got time for today. I might have time for the session on Sunday morning. We'll see how it goes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this these 4 files into Easy Class, and I'm going to cut the beginning off of this video because it's pointless. I'll put it in on my channel on YouTube. So does anybody have any questions before we go? Anybody got any questions before we go? I'll be in Telegram for a while afterwards. If anybody's got anything they want to ask, nobody's got any questions. Okay, so I'll put the letters in Easy Class, and I'll put the video on YouTube within the hour, so you can watch it there. Okay, excellent. I'll see you soon, possibly Sunday morning. We'll see how it goes. Okay then, bye.